Is it? Is this what we've been waiting for? Warrior dream again, your destiny. Uphold the will, not compromise. Hey, nay, nay. Freedom, 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 yeah. Freedom, freedom, freedom is calling us. Freedom, 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 yeah. Freedom.
All right, hello
freedom,
everyone.
freedom.
Welcome once again to our new Tartarian Times. This is going to be a freebie, so to speak. We put a few up there recently on our Patreon page. Check it out. The articles are there for free. We've got a couple of videos up there already. Toil the Self and the Mode of Emotion, only for Patreons. $10 a month, very reasonable. That's my little plug. This one is going to be called Tuning into Tartaria, with the subtitle of Shaping Certainty's Choice. So by your tone, what I mean by your tune, how you tune yourself is how you call your reality to you. And if you have a loving tone, you invite loving people. If you have a mean tone, you invite mean people. If you have a higher vibration, you get higher vibrational choices. If you have lower vibration, you get those mucky, fearful, angry, sticky choices. So tuning into Tartaria, once again, our Patreon page really isn't about going to live in those big, beautiful buildings, although that would be great. It's more about how you can make yourself into the type of being that could create that type of reality so that together we can make something even beyond what Tartaria used to be, because why do the old when we can do the new? New Tartarian Times. Hey, Cambell, that's my little introduction for us.
Very nice. Time to write a new song, hey? Yeah, tuning in.
I think so.
Yeah, I've been talking a bit about tuning and the energy field, and we're all into that. But this is the thing with sound vibration. We all know, right, when we're little kids, that the mum tone and the dad tone, right? The you're a good kid and you're a bad kid tones, and they're instant, right? Instant. Like you're either feeling, oh yeah, it's awesome, I'm so loved, it's wonderful, or you're thinking, oh my God, what have I done? And it's the same with, and we do this all the time when we talk to people, and this all comes from our perspective, like this view that we have of the world. It comes from judgment, right? It is all, especially the you're wrong side. So, how are you tuned? What are you tuning into? Because when we look at language and the spells, there's so much of it has to do with sound, right? And energy and frequency in that, they're on my vibration, they were tuning in, they were just on my level, they really resonated with me, all of these things. So this is literally how we're communicating, and they'll tell us that, verbal communication is 90% inflection, which is the way you say things. It's not what you say. You can say, I love you, and you can say, I love you. Same words, different inflection, completely different meaning. So, yeah, what's your response? How are you tuning in? What frequency are you putting out to the world? I think it's a big thing, because at the moment we're pretty much calling our tribes together, right? So, are you calling the right people in, or are you sort of putting your sonic defenses up and the sort of I'm right, you're wrong, I'm going to yell at the world defense? So, yes, what is your tune?
Getting into this, the reason we decided to have this conversation today is that I had a relationship with a friend who we had a bad experience a couple of years ago. I was telling Cambell this before we got on, and I changed my tune, I changed my tone. I was angry for a while, and I retuned myself to feeling good about the world. I retuned myself to wanting to create a better reality. I retuned myself to getting the kind of information that Cambell and I are sharing out there, because we love you and we love sharing it. We want to make a nice vibration in this world, because it will come back to us. And then lo and behold, this fellow sent me an email out of the blue a few days ago saying, I'm sorry for the bad experience we had a couple of years ago. I love you. I said, I love you too. And then we got together even just an hour ago, and we decided to work. He's in the United States. I'm in Japan, Cambell's in Australia, and this fellow wants to work with us through all the efforts, everything that we're doing. You too, Bernie. Shout out to Crypto Alchemist, and we'll be in touch on how to make the world a better place through some products, through some efforts, through some videos. And it was mostly because, something I want to talk about is I retuned myself. So let's say, think of yourself as a drum, okay? And, you hit a nice tune. Like I've had drums, you have to tighten the skin. Where you hit it makes the tune. As Cambell mentioned, some are pleasant, some aren't. So think about your energy. Is your body flaccid? Like, are you not in shape, for example? So like if you have a loose skin on a drum and you hit it, it's going to make a horrible noise, right? So, it's not about practicality. It's like how you tighten your life, how you tune yourself. And it's more than just what you're thinking about. It's literally like what you eat will give out a vibration. How you act every day will give out a vibration. What you're feeling about your fellow man or woman or the world around you will give it a vibration. As
Mm,
Campbell said, if you're walking around going, blah, 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 this is horrible, that's horrible, the world sucks, and everything is just, all the world's just dying for all these various reasons, of course, that's the tune that's going to bounce back to you.
mm,
But if you have another tune where you're tuning, I'm going to meet our tribe, I'm going to meet the right people to work with, I'm going to attract the people and you can't really do it from a mental perspective, in my opinion, between your ears. It's more like you have to put it into your energy field. You have to tune your body, and then you have to allow the world to tell you what this vibration is going to bring back to you.
mm. You change your tune. There's another one, right? And it's so true. You've got to go back
Yeah.
and reassess, how you're perceiving the situation, which is changing your frequency. And you should change your frequency frequently, right? Tune in, you're tuning. We've got all these words here.
We do.
The thing is, obviously we're taught everything's physical, right? And if you want to change the world, you need to go out there and you need to move things around, and if you want to find your tribe, if you extrapolate that out, that means what you got to, traverse the world until you bump into the right people. No, you've got to change your tune. You've got to change what you're putting out. You've got to start putting out, a vibration of attracting your tribe, and they will appear, and I've said this, numerous times. When you do that, and Lorenzo just mentioned it with his friend, when you do this and you put an intention out, things just happen. People like pop out of the ether. They literally just, and you're like, where did you come
Literally
from?
pop out of the ether.
Yeah, they were just tuning in
Literally.
to your vibration because they're looking for the same thing, and you're both putting out these vibrations, and they're like, oh, hey, yeah, I know you, and you meet, and all these things happen. Again, Lorenzo's met up with Bernie, so there's another thing. So this is all frequency, and it's all the tune, right? The song, and of course we live in the universe, the one song. So it's all frequency. So what do we all want change, right? So what are we really doing? Are we out there thinking, I want to do this, so I need money because I want land, and then it'll take money, so I need to go and get something physical to change, because this kind of thinking, I mean, let's be clear about it. We've all tried this, right? For 30 years or more. Has it worked? No, let's try something different. So what about, putting the right energy out, putting out the right song, the right tune, tuning in to where you want to be. If you want to be on the beach, tune in your mind and find where that beach is and connect with it and see it. And just like the person in the tribe that you're looking for, you'll connect with it and you'll get drawn together. So this is the thing. We've been taught to look at it all wrong. And that's why we're getting all the wrong, responses.
100%.
So tune in to what you
One
want.
of the subtitles, tune in. One of the subtitles for this video is Shaping Certainty's Choice, right? Tuning into Tartaria. That's our cute title for it. But really the action and the practicalities behind tuning into Tartaria is, if you want a new choice, Campbell said many times, for things to change, things have to change. But, for things to change, you have to change. And by you changing, again, we don't mean your job or your shoes or your pants or your location. You have to change your tune. Change that tone, young man. I don't know how many times I've heard that. Watch your tone. And so you retune yourself and you get a new certainty and a new choice is coming. And it's not made that, you want to find the beach here, you want to do this here. It's like when my friend got back to me and I found out he's been on some very popular Coast to Coast, probably a lot of people know that show many times, and he's going to invite me on to chat. And he knows people all across this plane that are promoting his amazing products, which are about retuning yourself and blocking the bad energies coming in, so that you can, that's one way to tune yourself, right? If you don't let in bad food, for example, you don't let bad anger, you don't let bad people, you don't do alcohol, you don't do bad sugars, you don't let in too much junk food, literally that tells you what you're letting junk into your body. by its very definition. So that's one way you tune yourself by, what you put inside is a tune. And I didn't expect what happened or this choice to come, but I've been working with Cambell for a long time, and him and I have been spitballing, or how can we do this more? How can we do better? How can we increase the currency so we can, get more out there? How can we increase the currency so we can get to where we want to go? And all of these lovely things that we've been discussing, as men, which is what men do. You tune each other. Sometimes they call it ribbing, where you poke a little. I poke at Cambell a few times. He's poked at me, but it's more like you're helping, you hit someone's drum. You go, how's your tune today? Boom, boom. And it's what real men do, right? Not in a mean way, but they kind of tune each other by saying, what about this? And what about that? And what about the other thing? And, that's, but men get together sometimes and, they vibrate off each other, and it gives them the ability to check each other's tune at the door. And from what I've seen, that's how you create a certain future, not by wanting the money, or wanting the beach or wanting that relationship. If you change your own tune and you change your own vibration, those things will naturally show up and become available to you because you've changed your tone.
Yeah, change your tune, right? It's just everywhere. I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, tuning in. I mean, this is, again, it's all about, what we're attracting. Like there's all this talk about what are you putting out? What are you putting out? But I mean, maybe we should be talking about what are you bringing in? What are you bringing into your world? What are you attracting? Because that's really the result of putting something out. So and we talk about this a lot. If you're getting the results that you don't want, it's because you're putting out the wrong tune, right? The wrong vibration. You're attracting. It's just that simple. So this is the thing. Like I was going to say, do you need a tune up? This is the other thing. Like we can talk about, what are we putting out, and who are we affecting, and are we putting out the right message, and who are we attracting? But do we need a tune up? Is our song a bit fuzzy? I was thinking, we've all seen the clips.
I'm just going to turn some light on.
Yeah. We've all seen the clip of the school band, and they're playing along, and one kid just goes off and does the wrong note, right? And they just stand out. And everyone's like, oh my God, he's out of tune. This is that you? One, are you hanging out with the wrong people? Are you that instrument that like everyone's going, hey God, that one sounds a bit different? Do you need to tune into a new group? Because this is the other thing, like a lot of people sort of hang out with people and just because, but it's time that we need to tune up, right? Because when we're tuned up and then we feel whole, right, we're actually fine with ourselves. And when you're fine with yourselves, you don't need to run out and get stuff from the outside world to make you feel better, right? You can then start actively going, okay, this is what I want. This is what I want to attract, and start working on a more energy, frequency, music-based realm, really. Because, and this is what we talk about, right? We talk about the new Tartaria, about this new world, about creating something better for us, where we have freedom and all this kind of stuff. But I still see a lot of people moving bits around. But that's really the thinking of the old world. So to get into the new world, and we say it a lot, we have to become the people who deserve it. So we have to be in tune with it. You could see it like you walk in and there's the orchestra, right? And someone hands you a saxophone and they're like, all right, off you go, play your tune. And unless you're in tune with the rest of the orchestra, you don't get in. They're like, hang on, go back, have some more practice. So, yeah, change your, do you need to change your tune? But tune up, like what are the things maybe in your energy field that are holding you back? And these are the things that trigger you. These are the things that, how dare they should, that, anything with they in the front of it, that's something that you need to turn around and look at in yourself and tune yourself up. And of course, we're talking on a mental, like a thought sort of thing at the moment realm, but there is of course frequency healing as well, that you can look into as well, with tuning forks to literally help tune yourself. And this is the other thing, we've been taught that to fix yourself, you need to go and find a man in a coat to start cutting bits off you, or putting poison into you, really. But maybe we just need to tune up. I just need to retune ourselves, and
Yeah.
this is the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine if you had a drum and the skin needed tightening, as an example, someone started cutting bits out of the side instead. Go, oh, the skin needs tightening. It's making a horrible tunes. Let's just cut out this part and cut out that part, and we'll put some metal here, and we'll inject it with some gum here. And you're going, wait a minute. All you needed to do was tighten the skin, and it would make a nice tone, right? Or tighten the top of the drum. To take this analogy further. So how are you loose, right? Like, why are kids?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a little different these days, but they seem more in shape. They seem more centered. They seem more resilient. They're more strong because they have a higher tune, a higher tone. That's why you like watching kids play, let's say, or bouncing around, or what they're doing. Whereas when people get old and flaccid, and their energy gets older and flaccid, and their wrinkles and getting people go, that's just getting old. And to me, that's bullshit. That's more like you're allowing yourself to get out of tune, out of shape, out of tone, by the anger you're putting in, by the negative experiences you're saying the world is about, and it doesn't really matter how many bad experiences you've had before today. I had to see that too with my friend that came back, right? It's like I had horrible experiences with people, and I spent years saying it's their fault. Nobody understands me. If they only understood the good work we're doing, if they only understood this, and then I had to say, wait a minute, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm still thinking how they're wrong, or they're bad, or they're not supporting me enough, how they're angry. Like, I have to change my tune. I had to change my tone. I had to see how I could be more loving, and I had to not expect anything from it. I mean, that's the best. I didn't say I'm going to change my tone and then the money's coming, or I'm going to change my tone and then the beach is coming, because that's really, you're attaching a negative tone to a so-called positive tone. That's why I think the law of attraction is something else that doesn't really work, because you're attaching a want to a love tone, and they're not the same.
No. Yeah, and you have to put a time limit on if your expectation is I'm getting whatever, there has to be a time limit on that, right? There has to be, but that's not how manifestation works. There is no time limit. It'll turn up when you're connected, when you're in tune. It's to do with you raising your vibration and your level. Yeah. Law of attraction. I mean, that's the thing. It is true, but it's taught to sell books. Let's be honest. What they teach is just to sell books, and so they're attracting lots of wealth, right? But what they're teaching clearly isn't working, because that's been out for 30 years, and I mean that was all stolen from the greatest secret, which was back from the 50s. But did the world change? Did everyone become a millionaire? And no. So this is the thing.
No, it's what.
So is your tune? Is it what's the word? Is your tune a nice pitch? Is it the right pitch? Because there's another word, right? Pitch. We always get pitched things. People are pitching things at us, right? So you're going to take that on or not, or are you strong enough to say, well, no, this is my tune? Because we so often just follow other people. I should do that because they're doing this. I should do that. I want. Of course, when you want something, you don't have it. But maybe we just need to, tune into what we want. Understand there's more going on here. Forget about other people telling us, because, again, people who've achieved what they want, sure, they might have a few hints for you, but they only know how to do it for them. You haven't lived their life. So what works for someone else ain't going to work for you. Some of it might, but 100% of it won't. So this is why we need to get back, tune in. Like, what do you want? What is it that you want to create, and what's holding you back? What do you need to tune up and tune out, right? Like, because this is this thing, like, if there's anything holding you back, we'll say it again, it's all your fault. It's all your fault. And if that statement makes a funny sound, maybe you need a tune up. This is the thing, if ideas and event, and I see this all the time, right? People, the ideas just can't penetrate. Like, they hear something and it's like it bounces off, because they've tuned themselves into a certain frequency where that's not part of their reality. So they can't take anything else on. So I think retuning is to open ourselves up. And the main thing is to get rid of all these blockages in the song, right? All these off notes. all these bum notes. When you hear again the orchestra and you hear that off note, get rid of that. So you're creating a nice song, and then you've got flow, right? And you're singing a nice tune, which is telling people who you are and what you want, And this is a kind of language we hear about, in all these ancient, theosophies and books. They're always talking about the song of life and singing things into existence and all this kind of stuff. And this is what we've lost. We've lost the magic. We've lost the magic. We think we live in a world of boxes that we need to move around, where it's just not the case.
No,
And
no.
so I think it's time for all of us to change our tune.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Campbell talked about tuning forks. If you put two together, one will pick up the tune of the other, and they'll alter each other. And so when I've talked a lot over the last many videos about sometimes you have to leave a relationship, sometimes you have to leave a job, sometimes you have to leave your friends, it's not about being mean or hurtful, and it's not about being, saying you have to do this and it's too bad for your children or your siblings or your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever. It's more like, if you have to retune yourself, imagine you're a tuning fork, sometimes you have to get away from the bad vibrations, right? It's one of the oldest things. If you have a habit and you want to stop drinking, you don't hang out with drunkards, right? It's just the way it goes, right? You don't hang out with people that eat too much cake if you want to lose weight, because that their tune or their tone will affect you. And one of the oldest probably visions people have of retuning themselves if they want to change their life is usually you have to spend some time alone, whether it's a year. Like I've spent tons of moments in my life, a year or 2 years, living by myself. To being like some friends at the time when when I was in my 30s, I was being poorly tuned. They say I was being an asshole now as they look back on me. So they literally, as a good friend, planted me in a small apartment on the Sunshine Coast in Canada by myself. I was there for a couple of years, walking in the woods, walking along the beach. I was retuning. Of course, I was lonely. Of course, I was upset. I go, I can't believe my friends left me, or I can't believe, I had a girlfriend at the time. She doesn't want to see me, and like all these things pissed me off. But I see now I was literally left to let the woods tune me, to let the waters tune me, to see how I was by myself so I couldn't blame anybody, to retone myself. So I spent a long time figuring out my own lack of tune, or my own lack of love, and I had to alter that. And this is how you change your future, change your certainty, change your choice, by changing yourself, and you change your tune, and then who knows what'll happen.
Yeah. You change the song, and you may have a whole new album to explore. But this is the main thing. Well, actually, I was going to say, just as it's kind of a side note, but we've all heard of the Vesica Pisces, right? And the Vesica Pisces is the place where two fields meet, and it's a new creation, right? You get two fields, and we can talk about, mum and dad, right? They come together, and where they cross over, a new third field is born, and it's got components of the originals, but it's a new creation. It can think for itself. It's not, a carbon copy of anything else. So this is the thing is when we judge everything, we have this tune like, oh my God, they're wrong, or I need money, or whatever. We can't interact with another field, right? This is what debates are, and this I'm right, I'm wrong. This is what's keeping people stuck. But when you have a conversation, you can have 2 points of view, and they can be opposing whatever. But if the people agree to talk, just have a conversation and listen to each other, then something new will be born. A new idea will come out of that, something that's new and different. And that's how we learn and go forward. And so all this, I'm right, I'm wrong, it is just holding everyone back so much. It really is. And I just see it everywhere at the moment, and you just need to get over it. Like, do you really want to live in a world where everyone thinks like you? I mean, that sounds like the most boring thing in the world to me. I'm not interested in living in grey. I like colour. I like diversity, right?
Yeah.
I mean, shit. But anyway, I sort of digress a bit there. But this is the thing is, a lot of people tune into, I'm right, and I know this, and I know that, and I must tell people how things are. But that's really just you. That's the kinks. That's the blockages in your song. That's the thing that's not letting you sing. It's not letting you be yourself. And this is where we get confused. You know, we think that if we take on the I'm the expert, that somehow it makes us an expert and somehow we know something. But I think we all understand that's not true. It's just this facade of blah blah blah. I know better. So completely went sideways there. But this is the thing. Like, what do you? Yeah, basically, it's what are you tuning into? Who do you want to be? Do you want to be the person there telling everyone what to do and how it should be, or do you want to be the questioner and having conversations and trying to create new things, new solutions, going forward, new songs, if you will, you know, because that's what songwriters do, right? They come together, and if they fight, nothing comes of it. If they collaborate, we get beautiful music. So that's another thing is you know, open your field to the right people and have conversations and try and use it to create something new that will take you where you want to go.
Yeah, even if you have a higher vibration, if you tune yourself to a more loving space, if you're tuning yourself to, you know, everyone knows you're wrong, you're wrong. It sounds horrible to the ear. Even if you are wrong, you don't really want to hear about it. But if you're at a higher vibration, you know, I saw a chart a long time ago where you're touching more points of reality. Right? So you're getting more options, more potential, more inspirations are going to come hit you. You know, if you're walking on the street in a good mood and you're singing to yourself and you're feeling great, chances are more people will come and say hello, right? Chances are more people might come and want to join you. Chances are someone might walk up to you and give you a new idea or a new suggestion. Who knows what'll happen? Of course, we've all seen that person walking down the street grumbling and upset and sad or angry. Nobody wants to go near them. Right. You know, it's like, you know, even if they're right and they have an angry vibration, I'm right, the whole world's wrong. Oh my goodness, I can't believe, you know, if only they stop jibby jabbing themselves, and if only they stop listening to politicians, and if only they stop spraying the skies, and oh my goodness, the water, and oh my goodness, you know, and to an extent, of course, it's good not to get poisoned. But of course, you're taking that, but with your tune, you're taking the poisoning, and by not taking the poisoning, you're poisoning yourself with a bad tone. Right. So that's how the monsters in some ways win on both sides. Right. If you don't believe in the chemtrails or the bad food or the GMOs or whatever, or the sugars, that's great. But, you know, I've had a lot of vegetarians, you know, attack you, go, you have to. So right away, they're taking the nice tune, let's say, of not taking life according to them, but then they're filling themselves with the bad tune.
Yeah.
And at best, then they're getting nowhere. Right. And they're not winning their own battle of higher vibration, which is what people believe or feel they want to go to, simply because they're tuning themselves to an adversarial position. And then, you know, they're getting what they're getting from that.
It's a very interesting time we live in, you know, like we have all these people and they run up and they say, how dare you, government and you know, big pharma, you can't tell me what to do. How dare you? I'm a free, sovereign individual. Don't you tell me what to do. And then they go online and they tell everyone what to do. I mean, and I'm being completely serious. This happens all the time. I see it daily. Like, what's going on? God, need to get real. Need to get in tune with yourself. If you, and I said this, you know, like freedom isn't easy, right? Freedom means you need to let everyone else be free. As long as they're doing no harm, causing no loss or damage, you need to let them be free, whether you like it or not. All right, that's it. If you want to be free, you need to let everyone else be free. If you don't want someone telling you what to do, don't tell people what to do. It's that simple. And this is your tune. This is the whole
really
frequency, the tune, right? I'm right, you're wrong, blah, blah, blah. It's like I said, like the best music is made when two, you know, things, two or more come together and create, you know, together. They don't come and bash, you know, against each other. That's called heavy metal, maybe, you know. But this is the thing, like who are you really tuning into? Because if you have to be right and tell people that your way is the only way, then you're kidding yourself. You just are. You're not in tune with yourself. So all of these thoughts, why? Why should, seriously, ask yourself, why should people listen to me? Why am I right? Where's my proof? Why am I even saying this? I mean, let's get real with each other, because, you know, there's so much talk and this all predicates off the self-help, and you can do whatever you want. Just sit on a cushion in the lotus position and, you know, chant this mantra and these affirmations. And and a light will open up above your head and gold coins will start showering down on you and all this kind of stuff, right? Again, where's the proof? Right? We have so many people telling us this stuff, but it's crap. The only way forward is to get real with yourself, right? And to look at yourself and go, I stuffed up here. This is wrong. This is a chink in my armor. I was an asshole there. I really need to work on this. But this is my good point, and I need to enhance that. I did this well. Get real, right? That's it. That's the only way forward, is get in tune with yourself. And this is the thing. If you don't like your song, if you don't like the song that's playing, change a few of the notes. Get it so you do like the sound. And this will also come through because we have a drum inside of us. It's called a diaphragm. And Lorenzo was talking about the drum, and with the drum, it's like they get slack, right, when they get beat down. If you've been beaten down a bit, is your drum skin a bit slack. But the diaphragm, so as you get in tune with yourself, you'll find that what you're putting out, your speech becomes more defined, becomes more confident, becomes more of you. We don't meet people who are happy in their own skin, who go around going, oh, hello, can I see? Right? We know, but that's exactly, it's a joke. We laugh at it. We know this. So this is the thing. When you get in tune, you will literally have a tune up. And you'll sound different. When you sound different, you attract different things because you're putting out, and it's a domino effect.
And you can keep the monsters at bay with a high tune. I've seen that. You walk in feeling good, you walk in feeling loving, you walk in feeling groovy. Those people that used to bother you just won't come near you. They can't abide by your tune because you become discordant to the fears you don't want to exist with. Again, we're sharing practical things. This is not about a woo-woo way of looking at it, just have a high tune and the world's going to be good. It's not about that. It's like we live in a vibrational world. We live in a world that's created by vibration. You change your tune, you change everything going on around you. I mean, maybe there's GMOs, maybe there's chemtrails, maybe there's radiation, maybe there's bad people doing bad things, but those don't bother me anymore. They used to bother the crap out of me, right? And, maybe we don't change our DNA, or a DNA can't be changed by jibby jabs. Maybe it can't be changed by chemtrails. Maybe it can't be changed by GMO foods. Maybe it's only you, by agreeing that they're doing something and getting angry, that you're altering your own DNA. Maybe you are a bunch of energy that can never be invaded. It's the old vampire tale, unless you invite it into your home. So maybe how have you invited this bad energy? And I don't want to hear anybody say, but they're doing this to the food and they're doing this to the water and they did this to me when I was 5. Sure, maybe they did. Maybe they are, maybe they have, maybe they will. But that's not the point. The point is you're strong enough to untune yourself from all of it. In fact, you're the only person that can untune yourself from all of it. And as soon as you start telling other people, imagine you're vibrating well and you go and hold someone's hand, your vibration is going to slow down. So, but you're trying to convince other people what to do. You're using your energy to retune them, literally. But if you retune them a little bit, your energy goes down. It's like a tuning fork. If it comes across a static one, its energy will slow down and the other one will pick up a little bit. Yeah. So maybe for a moment, you can convince your friend, or you can convince your neighbor, or you can convince the person across the road that you're right, maybe. But then you'll leave and their own vibration will take back over, whoever they are, wherever they are, because they're always tuning themselves. So really, by changing yourself, you can change everything, but you can only change yourself. I think that's the interesting spiritual, energetic truth here, right? You can change everything, but literally you can only change yourself. But that changes everything.
You can influence the outside world by changing yourself. Like we've all seen, when these people, and they'll walk into a room and everyone will be, the room almost stops and they all turn around and look at this person. And we have this thing called entrainment. I think that's the correct pronunciation, which is like the tuning fork. When you bring a tuning fork, you put it next to a static tuning fork and the other tuning fork will start ringing. If you get clocks with pendulums and you get 10 clocks and you swing the pendulums all at different rates, they will all come into tune and swing together. And this is what we do when we're in tune. This is how we can influence the world. People will want to be around you. They'll want to resonate with you. They'll want to be in that energy field. So this is how you change the world. You don't tell people what to do. you be the change you want to see. You know, we know this, right? We told all this stuff, and we have all these sayings, you know, from self-help, but they never really explain, you know, just be the change you want to see. Go and, you know, I don't know, get $1 million. That's
I
the
mean, wouldn't
change
that be a
you
great,
want to
wouldn't
see.
that be a great trick of the monsters? You know, wouldn't that be a great trick of the monsters when they start telling you, and I bought into it too. All the people that have been jabbed are shedding and making you sick. And all
Yeah.
the people that have been jibby jabbed are making you crazy. You know, and I believed that for a second. And then I started feeling bad when I went out, when I started. And I said, wait a minute, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm telling myself that when I'm by someone that's had their own medical interventions, it's affecting me. And then it was affecting me. And then I said, well, that's just stupid. To myself, I call myself stupid, by the way. I'm not calling anyone else names. I said, maybe you're being stupid, Lorenzo. And then it stopped affecting me. Same with the chemtrails. They used to make me sad. And then I said, what, wait a minute, what? And then they would, so maybe all of this is
Yeah.
a huge psyop.
Yeah.
You know, everything on the news, everything someone's telling you, all the bad things. You know, again, I'm not saying they're not putting funny things in the food, and maybe what's that? We're trying to kill everyone. They're oh my goodness,
You know,
there's a worldwide, you know, genocide. It's such bullshit, BS. Because if they wanted to genocide, that would be so easy to literally poison the water supplies that all
yeah.
the governments have control for, and everyone could be dead tomorrow.
Bombs,
It's
yeah.
be too easy. Put something bad in all the meats, and everyone's gone. Right? Spray stuff in the air over all the big cities, and everyone's going to drop dead. But why
Yeah.
don't they do that?
Exactly.
You know,
Why don't they?
why isn't that? If they're really after genociding people, and they're really after lowering the population, and they're really after all of these things, you know, I think the population's being lowered because they've tuned people to stop getting together and making families now. Right? People's health is gone because they've tuned them into feeling anger and stressing themselves, so they're getting sicker. Right? You know, on and on it goes. So literally, it's all your fault. You know, it comes back to that, because if life sucks, you've allowed yourself to be tuned to a place where life sucks.
Yeah, you know, stop tuning into the TV. You know, that'll help. But this is the thing. And I was going to mention, and we could go along this topic for hours, so we'll sort of wrap it up soon. There is a video by Eileen McCusick you might find interesting, and of course all the cathedrals we haven't even talked about. But Dr. Emoto's work with the intention and the ice crystals and the rice in water, he's proven that it's intention. If you put rice in water and we get 2 jars and you go up to them each day and you tell one of them that you hate them and one of them that you love them, the one you tell you hate will go moldy and gross and everything, and the other one won't. This is intention. This is the tune. Like we tune ourselves, and also the Hindu sort of Indian culture used to put their water into copper jugs, and they'd pray to it for a few days before they would drink it. You know, so everything's energy, right? All this stuff on the news that we tune into, we can't prove any of it. We don't know what's going on in the blue and yellow country, right? We don't, you know, all this stuff, you know, oh my God, even the news of all these people are dropping over. Like, this is not part of our reality. This is something that they're wanting us to tune into, right? They're trying to get us to tune in. Literally, they tell us, tune in at 6 o'clock. And we'll tell you how to live. We'll tell you what to be scared of. But it's the fear itself that is the weapon. It's the fear itself, because we've said this before. These, whoever they are, entities that aren't us, they can't create. That they can't create. We create. They just manipulate us to get us to create what they want. So if they want us all to leave the planet, they just create, a situation where we all believe that we're all dying. You know, and I've said it before, right? The best way to defeat an army is to make them kill themselves. That's what's going on here. So we literally create. We're creators. We're the creators down here. This is a creative holodeck, if you want. So if we believe that it's a toxic world and everything's, you know, out to get us, then we're going to live the effects of that. If we live like, well, everything's energy and I can just transmute it instantly, so nothing can really affect me because I'm actually not this physical body, which everyone's, you know, jumping up and down saying is getting affected. That's not me. Well, then we can rise above all this stuff. And people have. Now, this is what all the stories about gods are and saviors, you know. So this is the thing. If you're waiting for Jesus to come back and save you, maybe just do what he did, right? He came to save you, and he said, do this, live like this, believe in yourself, love yourself, do that. He's already come and saved
Do
you,
what I'm
right?
doing.
You've just missed the message.
Yeah. 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 He's already said, do what I do. You can do it. Then you're saved.
He said these things and more, so shall you do.
Yeah. 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 It's the truth. So, so tone yourself, tuning into Tartaria. That's how you get over the bridge. When we talked about, it's on our Patreon page, told the self basically means understand yourself, realizing the difference between emotions and the motes and what you're sending out and what's coming back. It's all about making yourself into, I would say, you become Tartaria in a way, right? You become these buildings, you become this society. Who knows? Maybe we won't live in buildings. Maybe we'll be energy fields floating around. We won't need these beautiful buildings. Maybe that's what they did. Maybe we'll just be floating around. I wouldn't mind floating around trees and having them talk to me and having the fruit, not needing to eat, not needing to poop, whatever. It's a pain in the ass in some ways, quite literally some days, depending on what you had for dinner. So if you'll pardon my rudeness here. So, it really is. It's like we can imagine better by becoming better, by making better. And that's what I feel our new Tartarian times could be, is that, tuning into it, shaping your reality, shaping yourself. Join us, come along. We have a course. Freedom's calling you. Campbell's going to put all the links below. Our Patreon page is there. Campbell's page is there. My page is there. There's nothing but help. We're going to have all kinds of good products coming along very soon. Stay tuned in or stay tuned up, and we'll be sharing more with you from the beautiful people we're meeting and people coming together. I give one-on-one courses as well in Love Unlimited, which is all about the same thing: tuning yourself, tuning your heart, making life the way you would love to live.
Indeed, we would love you to come along. But do be warned, we will. We're going to get real. We want to affect change. We don't want to look in our bank account and go, oh my God, we just sold 10,000 tickets for $10,000 each, and everyone got up and they danced and they went woo 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 woo, and 3 months later they're all in the same spot, but now they're less $10,000 in their bank account. We don't want to. We want actual change. We're changing the world. We're going to the, whatever you want to call it, new Tartaria, 5D world, whatever. We're going there. So come along for the ride. But this is the thing. Change isn't comfortable. So you will get triggered. You will be asked to challenge yourself. But this is all good, because on the other side is true freedom. Is that place where you don't have to tell everyone, I'm right, you need to do this. Is that place where you can have conversations rather than debates. It's all there. It's all there for you to have. So come along for the ride. Like Lorenzo said, links are down below. We've got a course, we've got a Patreon, and we would love to have you on board for the journey.
There's nothing magical about this. There's nothing special. We're not offering any quick, easy, get rich, get free fixes whatsoever. What we are saying in our videos, if you go through all of them, is that you have the power. Everything resides inside you. Whatever is hidden, you can unhide. Whatever you've dropped, you can pick up again. Whatever you've picked up that you want to drop, you may do so again. And the beauty of this, and I would say the magic secret, is you have everything you need to get yourself to where you would like to go, to free yourself, to become sovereign, to figure out your life's lost purpose, and to live a life that you would love to live. 9 videos, very reasonably priced. We're happy to have you here. Come to our website. I'll leave the links below. You can see lots of testimonials, lots of previews. I'm happy to answer any questions. My email will be included in this as well. I love you all very much. Thank you for being here. See you very soon. Freedom's calling you. Freedom's calling us. Don't forget, only you can free yourself in the ways you need to be free. I love you all very much. Thank you for being here. We'll see you again soon. This one's going out for free for anyone who wants to watch it. New Tartarian Times. We'll call it Tuning into Tartaria. Shape your own future. I'm doing it. Campbell's doing it. We love to have some help. The more people that, increase your vibration, the nicer this world's going to feel. So why not do it for yourself? And then you can do it for everyone else.
Indeed. Stay awesome. We'll talk to you all on the next upload. Bye for now.
People woke up and there ain't no sorrow. Ain't no more gonna tell you that. Only reason I don't wanna give it up. Came down from the heavens above and told all the people come and dance and said now. Got this trust in a life, do we make a difference? What the fuck you gonna do? Stand up and know your part, you hard. Open up and a piece of come now. This is it, is this what we've been waiting for? Warrior dream again, your destiny. Uphold the will, not compromise. Hey, nay. Freedom, 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 yeah. Freedom, freedom, freedom is calling us. Freedom, 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 yeah. Freedom, freedom, freedom is calling us. Stepping it up, taking a chance, risking it all, we're going crazy. Stepping it up, taking a chance, risking it all, taking it higher, baby. Stepping it up, taking a chance, risking it all, we're going crazy. Stepping it up, taking a chance, risking it all, taking it higher, baby. Losing all control, no fear. The trumpets are blowing, charge of bell is here. Love is all gonna set us free. Are you ready to fulfill your destiny? All rise from the depths within a revolution. People, come on, this is it now. Got this love in our heart through righteous feeling. What the fuck you gonna do? Stand up and know your part too hard. Open up and a piece of come now. This is it. Is this what we've been waiting for? Warrior, dream again. Your destiny. Uphold the will, not compromise. Hey, nay, nay. Freedom, 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 yeah. Freedom, freedom, freedom is calling us. Freedom, 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 yeah. Freedom, freedom, freedom is calling us. Stepping it up, taking a chance, risking it all, we're going crazy. Stepping it up, taking a chance, risking it all, taking it higher, baby. Stepping it up, taking a chance, risking it all, we're going crazy. Stepping it up, taking a chance, risking it all, taking it higher, baby. Freedom, 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 yeah. Freedom, freedom, freedom is calling us. Freedom, 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 yeah. Freedom, freedom, freedom is calling us. Freedom, 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 yeah. Freedom, freedom, freedom is calling us. Freedom, 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 yeah. Freedom, freedom, freedom is calling us. Freedom, 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 yeah. Freedom, freedom, freedom is calling us. Freedom, 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 yeah. Freedom, freedom, freedom is calling us.